One of the greatest high school football coaches in state history, Dennis Lampley helped to build and then sustain one of the premier high school athletic departments in the country at Trinity High School during his 45 years at the school. Lampley won 5 state titles as the school's head football coach. He was a defensive coordinator for 4 more titles, and then led the school's entire athletic department as athletic director for 15 years. During that time, Trinity became a statewide powerhouse in multiple sports. Lampley is still at the school as the assistant athletic director, and he says, well, 45 years, that's a long time at one school.
It was amazing, and I've never turned around since. I mean, that's a long time. 45, 46, this one's 46, and in it right here. So.
A native of Dixon, Tennessee, Lampley went to Austin Peay University, later earned a master's degree from Eastern Kentucky. He coached at Danville for 2 years, spent 1 year at Madisonville, but it was a call from then Trinity head coach Jim Kennedy that lured him to Louisville. Lampley came to Trinity in 1971. He was a defensive coordinator from 74 to 77 under Jim Kennedy and Dave Moore. And when Moore resigned in 1978, Lampley took over as the Shamrocks head coach. Lampley was the head coach for 2 years and then stepped down for personal reasons. He stayed at the school as a teacher, got back into coaching when Roger Gruneisen resigned from the post in 1985, and that started one of the most dominating stretches in state history. Lampley led Trinity to 5 Class 4A state titles in 10 years. He won his first state title in 1985. He won it in 88, 89, and 90, and also in 94. His 88 team was tabbed the Courier-Journal's Team of the Decade, and perhaps his greatest accomplishment, a 50-game winning streak, a state record which still stands today as the longest winning streak in state history. During his tenure at Trinity, Lampley sent dozens of players into college football, and he coached Trinity's first Mr. Football. Jeff Brom, the all-state quarterback, led the Shamrocks to the 1988 state championship. He played for the University of Louisville 7 seasons in the NFL. Brom is currently the head coach at Purdue University and speaks highly of his former coach.
Dennis, without question, in my mind, was one of the best coaches I played for in my career. Had an unbelievable ability to motivate his players, really by his true, sincere love of his players and his genuine care for their well-being. And in return, his players loved him back, and they played for him. And it was just an honor to be a part of the 50-win streak that Dennis had at Trinity. And he's still somebody that I rely on as a mentor.
It was just before the 1994 Class 4A state championship game when Trinity shocked a Sean Alexander-led Boone County team 21-7 that Lampley told the seniors on his team this would be his last game. Former Trinity running back Corey Taylor remembers that conversation well and said that 94 team will never forget that moment.
To me, what Coach Lampley means, and he hugely impacted my life, and I would say he's the master motivator. He's able to get the most out of you. Even when you may not believe in yourself, he found some way to get you to see that you could do whatever you put your mind to. And, that was a great talent that he had. And, he just really showed he cared. And I don't think I really appreciated him as much when I was here, but once that I left these walls of Trinity High School, as I got older, more mature, I really started to appreciate the gym that I had as him as my coach and a mentor.
Lampley was not only Kentucky's Coach of the Year on multiple occasions, was named Coach of the Decade for 1980s. He was the National Coach of the Year in 1990. At the time of his retirement, Lampley and North Hardin's Joe Jaggers had more state titles than anyone in history. Lampley still holds the distinction of most state championship appearances by a coach in state history without a loss. He was 5-0 in state championship games.
And a head coach who's something of a father figure.
We know you want to play. We might get you in there.
When he gets on the football field, he's pumped up, he's ready to go, and he even starts thinking about football. You mentioned football, he just starts getting hyped up. You can see it in his eyes. When you're off the field, he's a role model. He's someone you look up to, someone you want to be like.
And these parents give him to you and say, here, he's yours now. You take care of him.
You better do the job. And if you don't, then you're not a good coach. You shouldn't even be out there. They all just dismiss you from the coaching profession.
Dennis Lampley compiled a 138-21 record during his tenure. He was named Kentucky Coach of the Year on 3 occasions. He served as the school's athletic director from 1998 until 2013, when he moved into the assistant athletic director's role. Lampley can still be seen working sporting events throughout the year on the campus of Trinity High School. And now, Dennis Lampley, one of the greatest high school football coaches in state history, the newest member of the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame.